Hi again everybody, welcome to my latest video. In this one I'm going to do another case review. This case here, the Corsair Airflow 275R, is one that I got at a price I just couldn't refuse. I'll put up on the screen here my invoice for it. But that price, along with the rebate and the free shipping, just clinched the deal. Even if I don't use this long term, or at least initially, it's still something worth having. So I have not opened up this box at all yet. Of course, I've read about it online and looked at the pictures that the vendor that sold it to me provided, but I have not actually opened it up to see what's in here. So let me do just that. Take this down. Another white case, by the way, in case anybody's interested. Lately I've been getting drawn to those white cases. I mean, they look pretty attractive, don't you think? Oh, okay. Let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Looks like this is the bottom, so let me take this bottom piece off here. Be very careful, this has tempered glass on one side. Looks like here's the manual for the case. I'll see if I need that. Probably when I put a computer in here, which will be in the second half of this video, I'll probably need that. Okay, let's see what we got here. It's got a nice tempered glass, not on hinges, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and take this off for now, just to make sure I don't damage it as I'm looking at it. Comes up from the bottom pretty easily. There we go. Does it have a tear on it? I think it does, yeah. I'll do the tear later once the computer's in there and running. I like to use the original box to hold on to these tempered glass panels until I'm ready to finalize things. They have the cushioning and the right protections on it to prevent any damage. Let's see what we got in here. Fairly attractive in general. It has a very good PSU shroud. It looks like it has ample room if I wanted to put a 360 millimeter. Looks like it can it handle, yeah, it could probably handle a larger one than that with 140 millimeter fans. It has two fans in the front. I'll have to look in the back at the wiring to see. I don't think they are PWM, not for the price that I got this for. They are not the standard PWM fans that I've seen. No, it looks like it's only 3-wire. So we don't have that. And it's got one of those fans in the back, and I could check that more clearly. And I could see here that, yeah, it's only a 3-wire fan, so it's a DC fan, not PWM. If I actually use this for something significant, I would want to have PWM fans in here, as I've said on many videos before. It does have good grommets between the various sections from the front to back. Nice way to hide the cables that are passing through here. It has what looks like ample room right now at the top in order to actually get in the CPU 12 volt connector here. So I think that that's a big plus up in this corner here. Let me take off the other side panel. That one only has two. Hey, guess what? They're captured. That's a big plus. That's usually only on the very high quality cases. Well, Corsair is pretty good about it. So they're captured screws. Okay, what do we got in here? Well, we got our usual box of goodies that Corsair likes to give you. Looks like we'll have to, let's remove the trays. Now these are not hot swappable. We don't have the actual connectors built into it for the SATA data and SATA power. So that's something that this does not have. These feet look metal, but they're plastic and rubber at the bottom. It does have a filter that you can actually pull out from the back, not from the front. But it is a nice fine filter for the power supply intake. What else? It's got the front panel here. Let me see, this should pop off. It's got a handle down here, a lip right here. I can just take this and pull it up. And the whole front comes off. Put this on the side for now. This is all plastic, by the way. I wasn't sure what parts were plastic and what parts were metal when I looked at it online. I wonder if you can get other fronts for it. I guess it's possible. Looks like a standard size. We will see. But as you can see here, oh, I have a magnetic air filter. Yep, a magnetic filter. That's beautiful. I like that. So it's pretty easy to get it out of there. It sort of has the tabs at the bottom. We got the two fans here. And now you can see the actual fan connectors. And again, all of them are just DC 3-wire fans. Magnetic. Good. Then we have the front panel. And it looks like the front panel is fairly good. It has power button for headphone and microphone. It's a combined connector, so you're going to need a splitter for this. It has two USB 3.0s, and it has a reset button. And has another magnetic filter at the top. I did see that online. That's good to know. And it has real PCIe slot panels. They have what looks like 6-32 screws in them. They don't have the ones that you can put in by hand and remove. I'll have to check. Maybe they're in this box. We'll see. But at least they're real. They can be pulled out and replaced. You don't destroy them to take them out. It's got nice airflow and a cable area for passing cables between the power supply compartment and the rest of the case. It looks like it can hold a couple of 2.5 SSD or 2.5 hard drives, but nobody buys those anymore. But I do have a couple of them lying around that were removed from other purposes. You never know, I might want to reuse those. So it has two of those. And as you saw before, it has two of these 3.5-inch bays on little plastic slides. And it has two 2.5-inch racks for 2.5. So you can pull this out and mount the 2.5-inch drive, usually an SSD, onto this, and then put it right back in. That's a nice handy thing. So you can have a total of, looks like 4. Or the front, if you wanted to put, I guess, a reservoir. That's what you could do here instead. And, a water cooler system in here of some sort, whether it's a custom. It looks like it will handle a custom, but it'd probably be more appropriate, I think, to do an all-in-one. Maybe a 360 or a 420 on the front, if it's a 140 mil fan. Definitely has the screws for 140 mil fans, so we can change these to 140 if we wanted to. And it looks like it has space up top for two, either 120 or 240s. Well, looks like you could put a 240 up here in the front part, and then you can put a 120 here. That's what it looks like to me. You can put a vertically mounted video card in here. It doesn't come with the extension for the PCIe slot, obviously. Those are costly a little bit, but it does have the ability to put them in on these slots here. See in the back, nothing notable there, standard configurations. Well, that looks like that might be all that's notable, just doing a quick case review of it. No, I don't see anything else that's notable on it. So what do you think? I think it looks pretty good. Now what I'll do next is I will take my all AMD motherboard with the CPU, put it in here. I'll have to remove it from the other case, which I had just not so long ago put it into, assuming it's going to be in there for a while. But right now, that's the only fully workable system insides that I have right now. So I'll put that in. Maybe I'll film that and speed through it for you. But then at the end, we'll see how it performs. Now, when I do measure this one in terms of performance, since it has air in its name, the airflow and the actual cooling capability will be a key measurement that I will do. I will also, though, see, I mean, it's solid steel. I mean, this is really like a 16 gauge steel. It's nothing cheap. Not like that DIY case I reviewed. So I don't expect any real problems with jittery, noisy type of environment that comes out of it and makes it unbearable to have it next to you on the desk. But I will go ahead and do some dB measurements in terms of the sound. I will compare that to some dB measurements that I did on the Thermaltake case that I did in the past, but I just didn't record. But I do have the results of that. I will compare this to that, and we will see how it compares. So let me get a computer in here and we'll see what happens next. Well, here's the case. I'm going to populate it with a PC so we can test it out properly. What you see here are all of the parts that I took out of my all AMD build that was in the Thermaltake case. And I'm going to be pushing that all into here. Now, most of this section will be sped through. If I hit a challenge along the way, however, then I will stop the video and let you know what the challenge is and what I'm doing to get past it. So let's get started. I'm going to prop this thing up to start. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and removed the fan that came with the case, the rear fan, for two reasons. One is it'll help me install the motherboard a little bit better. This is only a 3-wire DC fan, so I'm going to install the RGB fan, that's PWM, that I had in the other case. That way we have a fair test between the two, because this was the last measurements that I took in order to see what the heating performance of the case was. So this way we'll be on equal par. Those two fans came with the case, and these I've replaced for the rear one. Okay, right here is a challenge. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I cannot get that screw in there. There is too much space between the stud and the motherboard. So it looks like it's going to need some washers in here before I could be safe. If I try to put it down, it's bending the motherboard. So I'm going to have to leave that screw out for now, finish the rest, and see if there's any other issues. Well, I just found out something. There's no hard drive LED here. So it looks like the power on LED is within the switch, but I can't find the wire for the hard drive LED. And as I looked on the front panel here, it turns out we don't have one. Okay, that does it. At this point, we have all of the parts installed, and I can go ahead and bring it up, see what happens here. Bit of a challenge, just to let you know, with the 12 volts. Now, it's always a challenge up here when you're trying to do the 12 volt connector for the motherboard. But for some reason, maybe it's the EVGA power supply, I don't know. But it was very difficult to get that in there because of the type of connector it is. Other than that, everything went pretty straightforward. I didn't do cable management, so cable management will be done once I've done all the testing on it. Okay, so let's get started with that. Well, I have it installed now inside of the case, my existing AMD build, and I'm going to run some tests on it now. I think this case turned out extremely well. Definitely it's running cooler than what I've seen the other cases, and we'll see exactly what those numbers are once I've completed the test. And I'll show the results at the end of this video, the temperature comparison between this case and the other two cases that I tried that particular computer in the same configuration. This picture shows how I measured the sound, the external sound generated by the case. The chart that follows is the actual noise level comparison between the Thermaltake V200 and the Corsair 275R. And then finally, This chart shows a comparison between the Corsair 275R and the other 3 cases that this computer has been placed in. As you can see, the Corsair 275R did quite well. If you got something out of this video, you found it useful in any way, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. All you have to do is click on the little head here that'll pop up in a moment, follow along, subscribe. That'd really be helpful. And I can make more videos for everybody in the near future. Well, take care and thanks for watching.